Hmm. Ooh. I'm so tired. Hello, hello. See that people are rolling in. I hope everyone's week has been good so far. I feel like it's already Friday, but also I still feel like it's a Monday. I'm like in the middle. I'm like, I don't know, I'm like in a weird, like, this week has gone by pretty fast, but then also I want it to end, so I have to catch up with so much, like, schoolwork, because I just, like, put it off. Get started in a few minutes. I always wish I could do this at like an earlier time, but the schedule for open animation is kind of tight, so I'll have to. I could probably change it at some point because I know a lot of people are either ending or switching time, so I do think 8 p.m. for me is late. I don't know what it's like 5 p.m. for like California. Yeah. Which is like dinner time. So ideally I would like to have it like 7 o'clock is a better time for me. Because I always get bored at like 7. Like before like the hour before here, like I just sit and do nothing. Like I watched a video on themed restaurants, like the history of themed restaurants. I'll wait like a minute or two and then I'll just jump in. Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. I haven't been to a restaurant like that before, but I definitely do. Like, there definitely should be more. I also like restaurants that have like that hire people that have been like convicted of crimes and like they have like a hard time coming out or like out of rehab and stuff like that, and then they can, find a job and then they have one for them. Yeah. I don't have much resources. I didn't really have a topic in mind that we could go over. If any of you are like struggling with anything, if you're trying to write something and you want something to really us to focus on, you can just like shoot me a message or something. Oh wow. It's pitch black. Wow. That's crazy. Alrighty. I guess I'll get started. People will roll in soon. Anyways, so this is class 7. we've kind of moved out of the class kind of format, but I do like numbering them and stuff. So class 7, still don't know when I'm going to end this, really. At some point, I'll probably have to, but I really enjoy at least, like, writing along people and having, like, people there. So I might do more streams just, like, randomly, where it's, like, I just write and I'll just pop on whenever, and I'll just be writing on Twitch, and I won't post it in Open Animation, but I'll post it in, like, Twitter or Instagram, places like that. But yeah, because the thing is, there's only so much you can really tell and teach about writing. I mean, I can go over review and all that. I could break down scripts, but that takes time. And I'm a little busy with school, so I don't really have time to break down scripts, especially when I have to read scripts right now. I have to read a bunch of play scripts for my theater classes that I'm taking. And they're so long. But, yeah, so I might do more of those. I've been wanting to, but then I never know when to do them, and I don't know what's the right time, but I just need to start doing them. Yeah, I've been wanting to review student stuff, but no one has given me one. I have suggested it a few times, but I guess I could make, like, an announcement about it, or, like, something like that. Because I do want to review people's scripts, and I think that would be fun. It is I do love looking at people's writing and helping them out with it. But I'd have to find people to give me scripts. Not a lot of people do that. I think a lot of people are scared. I'm also scared to review because sometimes I think I come off a little too overbearing. Yes, I would love to review your script. Yes, I would. I can come off a little, not harsh. I'm scared that I do come off harsh when I'm, like, editing or, like, helping, like, giving notes. Wait, I have to find, let me find, I have to look through my thing. But it's, like, notes. I forget what I called it. But it was, like, it was for my script writing class. And we'd have to give notes every week. You can see, I don't know what this is, but it's, I have to look in was it 2018? Yeah. And look at all my old schoolwork. Oh, the notes that I gave. And it'd be kind of, I guess, in that format. Was it the first reader critiques? I think that was it. Like, I would give, like, pages and pages. Like, literally, like, my team. Like, I would give so much. Because I was like, that's the whole point. Like, I would want someone to give me a lot of notes. And it's nice when, like, they come back to class 2 and then they actually, like, use the notes. But, usually I was the only one that would get an A in the notes because I'd actually give the notes. But, yeah, like, there's one that I read that I did not like in this class. These are all the original scripts. No, this one was okay. It could have been funnier. Where's the one? There's one where it was, like, there's a singer. This one. It was about, like, it was so cheesy. And I feel bad that, this isn't their script, but this is, like, the synopsis and stuff. But, like, it just wasn't, interesting in the sense that it wasn't new. Like, it was just like, oh, there's this girl and she's moving away because she wants to be with her boyfriend or something, like, or she wants to get away from her boyfriend, and then Omar is, like, her friend is like, you should stay because we have a band and they have a first gig, and then it's like, remember the first time we met? And then it was because, like, Elizabeth writes poems, and so apparently now she can, like, also write, like, you can make poems and then make them into songs, but like it was like on the point. He did like a melody and like or like he strummed something out, and then like she just sang like something out of her notebook, and I'm like, that doesn't happen. Like that's gonna be awkward. Like I can imagine taking one of my poems and then like singing it out to like a random like music in the background, and that was like, it was, I don't know, and I felt bad that I didn't take too much notes because I was like, there's nothing I can do. But yeah, this would be kind of the format I'd do, I guess, but also I'd talk it out, and I'd probably put like actual notes in the document. This one was my favorite, which was based on like an actual thing that happened back in like 2018, 2017, where there was like the family that was like in the basement. They had like kids that were like also like adults, and they were all like stuck in the house. Like they all look crazy. Yeah. And so I really was like, I really like this one, but you could make this so much better. But yeah, that would be kind of how I'd do it. But yeah, today, what are we doing today? I just found a bunch of things that I liked. I watched a bunch of stuff today. We're not going to watch this one. So it's a Nickelodeon Writing for Animation 101. It's 30 minutes long, so we're not going to watch it. But it has one of the writers from Casablanca, or both, not Casablanca, Casa Grandes. I haven't watched the show, so. But it has both a staff writer and then a consulting producer. And they talk about what a writer's room's like, breaking down a structure of a script, and then like stressing the importance of representation and blah, 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 like all good stuff. Like, I haven't watched all of it, but I think it's going to be good stuff, obviously. So I also have this one. This one's really short, so we'll watch it.
We don't want to attract attention.
Hey, parents, Friday. Okay, play.
This one's
My name's
Adventure
Kent
Time.
Osborne, and I'm the head writer on Adventure Time. My favorite character on the show is Ice King. I think because he lives alone, I live alone, and he has a penguin, and I have a cat. He started off as a villain, but now he's kind of lovable.
No one has ever said that to me before.
And I like LSP, too. She's really fun.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
My favorite character to write for on the show is Lumpy Space Princess, because she's super funny, and I like her voice. Penn Moore does her voice.
That was lame.
But it's so easy to write. You almost feel like you're cheating because you're hearing Penn's voice in your head as you're writing dialogue. So you're like, oh, she would say this. She would say this.
I'm sorry, you're so stupid.
Yeah, and I love her. She's so obnoxious and selfish, and like she's horrible, but you also like her. Yeah, she's great.
What kind of castle is this? It's like a poor people's castle.
Of all the episodes, the one that stands out, I think Simon and Marcy is like my favorite. I cry. If I start to think about it, I'll start crying.
I love you, Simon.
I love you.
I really like Bad Timing, which was an LSP story that Penn and I did. We boarded it together, and it's got some really funny moments in it, and it's got some great LSP soliloquy at the end, talking about love and how it makes you feel.
Through my tender love, you have metamorphed.
The idea came out because Penn came in one day and was all excited, and he said, I figured out time travel.
I have invented time travel.
He was so serious about it, and we were like, what do you mean? What?
It's not really time travel, though.
The process on how we sort of come up with an idea for Adventure Time it's pretty varied. Like sometimes we'll come in and we'll say, you know, what everybody do this weekend? And everyone will sit around and tell stories. And that's how you kind of come up with stories in the beginning. But then once the show's kind of rolling, it's very easy to come in and say, oh, we haven't checked in with Ice King in a while. Like, what's he doing? Where's he at? Like, where's he at with Betty? Where's he at with the crown? And so we're just like playing a game with all these characters and trying to figure out adventures. And then sometimes we play writers' games. If we're really desperate, we'll just sit around and do drawings. And you pass the drawing to the next person, and they have 2 minutes to write a story based on the drawing. And 99% of them you can't use because they're bad.
It's a first draft. Don't hate.
But then once in a while you get a really good, someone will come like, oh, that's actually a good story. Or even, I just like this drawing a lot. Let's figure out a story around this drawing.
Schmauzow!
Ooh, I think the best thing about working on Adventure Time specifically is getting to work with really talented artists and writers. All the storyboarders and the writers are super funny, and I've learned a lot just in drawing just from them. So that's the best part for me, I think, just being around artists.
We're kindred artistic souls.
Toads.
I think I find the most inspiration for writing for me is just things that have happened to me in my life, and constantly doing that, especially when you're boarding. I think when you're writing an outline, you're concerned about the structure of the story and making sure the beats are there. And okay, is this a story? Does it have a beginning, a middle, and an end? Is it clear? Is it making sense? Is it interesting? Is it funny? But I think once you get into then that you're sitting there boarding the story and you're writing all the jokes and you're writing the dialogue, I'll think about things that are interesting to me or things that I spend a lot of time thinking about in my life. And I'll sort of use that to kind of pour into the dialogue and to what the characters are feeling and thinking and stuff like that.
That's where the stuff I can't handle goes. Kerplunk.
The best thing about being a writer is, I guess, free pencils. The best thing about being a writer, is if you write something and then it ends up in an episode, and you watch that episode and you hear a joke you wrote and it gets a big laugh. That's pretty cool. Actually, I wrote that. No one would be laughing right now if it weren't for me.
Yes! I did it! I really did it! I'm a true wizard.
Okay, my advice to someone wanting to get into writing.
Time to write.
I think the best thing to do is just to write all the time. Like, write every day, even if you're just keeping a journal of what time you woke up and what you had to eat and what you did that day, and just to get in the habit of just like always be writing. Yeah, just sort of like challenge yourself. If you're waiting for the bus or something, like, and you see someone walking down the street, just write a story about them, like who they are, where they're going, what their day's been like. One of the things I used to do, I would take episodes of shows that I liked, and then I would sort of like reverse write. I would go through and I would like try to identify, okay, that's a plot point, like that's a beat, and I would try to write out the show, like just to see how simple I could get it.
Whoa.
I think that's a good way to learn about structure, because that's really valuable.
That is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I really like that one because it gives like perspective on like writing and different ways of doing it. So this one, Adventure Time, Guide to Writing, Ken Osborne, Cartoon Network. I haven't watched all of Adventure Time. I feel like I'm like a fake fan because there's so many episodes, or maybe there isn't, Now this one's also short. This one's Shonda Rhimes.
Probably the top 3 things an emerging television writer should do if they want to write a pilot and they want it to be good. Get your hands on some pilot scripts. Find the shows that you loved their pilot and you thought, man, if only I could have written something like this. Get your hands on those pilot scripts. They're easy to find now. Read them and then watch the pilots again, and then read the scripts again, and then really just start to dissect the pilots. What was the structure? How did they work? How many acts did they use? What were the page counts of each act? Why? If it's a comedy, how many jokes did they have? Every last aspect of those things is important. How do they introduce the characters? So dissect the scripts, dissect the pilots. 1. 2, then go watch some pilots that really didn't work. That you thought, for you, they didn't work. You thought they were terrible. If you go watch some pilots that you really, really hated, you will see very different things, and you will learn a bunch of stuff about what does not work. I think it's absolutely essential, actually, to pick a show that you love, a show that you think is good, and dissect the crap out of it, frankly. Take a show you love. For me, I did The West Wing. I am obsessed with Aaron Sorkin. I think Aaron Sorkin's a genius, truly. And I took The West Wing, and from the pilot through, I think, season 3, and I dissected the heck out of that show for myself to really understand, A, what good storytelling was, B, what good structure was, and just understanding how he used language and how he used structure and how he built characters. It was really an education for me. to the point where I could pretty much like do an entire like episode. I could say all the words of an entire episode because I liked it so much. And while I'm bummed now because I can't watch that show and just watch it anymore, I can say that it was an excellent way for me to learn so much about television at a time in which I was trying to figure it out for myself. Probably one of the things I learned by watching The West Wing was the need to be original in my use of dialogue, the need to not copy anybody, the need to not be simple in my use of dialogue. And I also got the freedom to let my characters be intelligent, which I really thought was great. It was one of those things where you watch something and you think like, oh, in everything else I've ever seen, there seems to be a slight dumbing down. And Aaron felt like he was making everyone a little bit smarter than the audience. And that was a very freeing thing to see, because letting your characters be the smartest people in the room is a relief in a lot of ways. There are things that you can learn just by watching that are not about copying how something's done, but just by understanding how something's done. Or discovering that sometimes it's really effective to have an episode where things are really quiet. You know, it's just about watching and seeing what makes something good, and then understanding that those, maybe they're breaking a rule, or maybe those are some rules to think about, and then understanding what makes something not good. It's helpful.
Yeah. Everything she says is always correct. I don't know, I just love Shonda Rhimes, and the stuff that she does. But, yeah, with pilots, I'm learning how to write pilots right now. And it's, like, hard because it's, like, the thing is, I have such a hard time concentrating enough to read a script and to analyze it. So with learning anything, I just jump in. Like, I go in and I do the thing I want to do. Like, I'm not going to do the baby steps to get there. Like, I'm going to jump head first in, which is not, you know, something you should be doing, because, of course, the problem is, you know, then I get too intimidated because I'm like, this is too hard. I don't know really what I'm doing. Like, when I learned how to, what's it called? Embroider. Like, I learned how to, like, do embroidery, which I still really don't know how to do, but, like, I did, like, a few simple cross stitches or whatever, back stitches, and, like, looked at a video, and then I went, yeah, I'm just gonna do something that I want to do, like, because I'm bored, and then I'll learn. It's the same thing I do with art. Like, if I find something that I'm like, I want to draw, I'm like, I'm just going to try to draw it. If it fails, I fail. Which I think is still a good method. I think sometimes, like, I mean, if I'm in a job situation, if there's other people counting on me, obviously, like, you know, I'm going to be prepared. I'm going to do the details and the work. But I'm just writing for myself right now and for my portfolio. So I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to do what I want to do, you know? And sometimes you don't have to be totally prepared and knowledgeable when you're doing something. Sometimes you just got to dive in and do it. And then if you feel like, you're like, man, this is a lot for me, I'm going to pull back, you know, like with storyboarding. I'm trying to learn Storyboard Pro, which is like I went in, it was like last week or like 2 weeks ago, and I like went in and I'm like, I'm gonna learn how to do it, and I'm just gonna go, and it was a failure. I have no idea what I'm doing on there. Nothing makes sense. Like, I messed up like the layout like 5 times, and then I was like, I don't know where anything is, and so now I'm like pulling myself back, and now I'm learning, you know, how to really do something, and like, you know, how to do it. I'm going to take the lessons that they have on their website or whatever. But yeah, but it is good to, you know, look at the stuff that you like and kind of analyze it in some way, shape, or form, and think about it deeper in the sense of like beats and the dialogue, like intrinsically think about it more than just, you know, being like, I really like this and that's it, or like stealing from it. Like, how do they, you know, execute that, you know, and that's important. And looking at scripts are important. And, you know, and looking at bad stuff. Like, sometimes, like, that's where you learn, like, that's the stuff that you don't want to do. That's the stuff that, like, that makes you want to be a good writer, you know? So you do want to look at that. And sometimes we're like, oh, I don't want to watch a bad thing, but you're gonna, it happens. Sometimes you watch something that you think is going to be good and then it's bad. And those kind of movies and shows fuel you and your journey to writing well and stuff. So I have one last video. I don't know if we'll watch it all, but I think I did earlier. I think I watched it all. And it's pretty good. Like, I really like this one. It's from Film Courage, I think.
People are not asking the right questions. They're not asking the right questions
and this
because
is about,
they kind of think they already know the answers.
This is about mistakes that writers make on page 1. So it's really, you know, how do you start a script? How do you make it interesting? What are people looking for, like, in the industry of, like, what a good script is and a story is. And I really liked it. Like, I really like this one.
Biggest mistakes a screenwriter makes on page 1.
Ooh, mistakes on page 1. I think one of the biggest mistakes is jumping into something that's not going to teach us anything, so it doesn't matter to the story, but you think it's cool. Right? So understanding that those first few pages are about the setup, right? So this is me gathering information about the character, about the world, about, you know, I'm going to start making assumptions about what's going to happen. I'm not looking for the inciting incident on page 1, but I am looking for things that are intentional and things that are going to help me understand at least who this character is. So that's why you'll see a lot of action films open with an action scene, because you're teaching me the skills that this protagonist has. You're teaching me that they know how to fight. They're usually the good guy. They're usually the winners, or whatever other information that you need me to know. And so now, when the inciting incident does happen, and they say, you're going to have to go off and save the world, I believe they can do it, because you've already shown me that they can. So I think it's easy on page 1 to just, like, open with something that, like, you know, we call it the opening image, right? And then on that opening image, we're thinking, okay, let's do something big. Let's do something cool. It's like, but if that doesn't have anything to do with your story, or if it doesn't have anything to do with helping to build who your character is, that also should have something to do with the story. Because you can tell me all kinds of things about your character, but if that doesn't matter to the story, then I don't need to know. You might need to know as a writer, because it's going to inform you as you write, but do I need to know as an audience? So I think sometimes we get stuck in a place where we're talking about something that's cool or talking about something that's exciting, but it really has nothing to do with anything. And now you've lost that executive who's only given you 10 pages in the first place because you've just spent the first 3 pages with 2 people at a cafe talking about something that's very interesting, but then we never see that person they were just talking to ever again. And whatever it is they were talking about has nothing to do with what our protagonist is about to go and, you know, go on this journey.
Interesting. Why do you think people do that? Why, like, oh, wouldn't this be really cool? We'll open it with this, but it, like you said, it doesn't tie back to anything.
I think it just goes back to them not understanding screenplay structure. I think we just watch movies, and if you're only watching for entertainment, which is what most people do, that's why people don't like to go to the movies with me or watch TV with me, because I'm not watching for entertainment, right? But, you know, most people who are watching for entertainment are just taking in the cool stuff. You know, and they're going, oh my God, wasn't it so cool when this opened like that? It's like, yes, but what does that have to do with your screenplay?
You are a writer, but writing novels is hard.
You know, like, oh, well, you remember in this movie when this happened? So at this point in 2020, we all grew up watching movies, right? So that means there are movie things that we get attached to, right? So we're not necessarily thinking about story, we're thinking about movie moments. You know, like, that's just a part of, like, can you imagine the people who are growing up now? Like, movie moments are going to be their thing. So a lot of the times people are writing screenplays because they're writing what they've seen already, because they think that those are the movie moments that make the film, instead of realizing that movie moment mattered because of who those characters were and what they were trying to get done. It means absolutely nothing in your screenplay. It means budget in your screenplay, you know.
We recently had a screenwriting teacher tell us that 99% of screenplays are rejected by the industry after the first scene. So is that true in your experience?
Yeah, it's those first 10 or 15 pages. I wouldn't necessarily say it's the first scene. It depends on who you're sending it to. Because most places will say at least give it the 10 pages so that we can say that we did our due diligence, right? Now, you could have a scene that lasts 10 pages, you know. You could have only 2 or 3 scenes within those 10 pages. So that's, totally, it happens. If you can't capture me, if I don't care about your character within these first 10 or 15 pages, if I don't, again, we haven't reached that inciting incident, so I don't even know what this thing is about anymore. So now I'm just grasping for straws. I'm reading it, There has to be something that connects me so that I can want to read the rest. Because people these days will send you a screenplay that's 200 pages long. Who has time for that? If you can't connect me in those first 10 pages, I am not about to spend my next 2 hours reading 200 pages. It's like, for what? When there's a whole stack of screenplays here that might capture me within the first 5 or 10 pages. Why do I need to spend my time reading the 200? It's the same thing when you're thinking about television. So a lot of the times people will, have a pilot and now they're thinking of, the next couple of episodes and they're like, oh my God, I'm really going to get you at episode 5. I've got to wait 5 episodes before I'm invested. No one's going to do that. If you can't catch me at the pilot, I don't mean as an audience. I mean like as the executives, as the people you're pitching to. The pilot is what sells the series. If you're telling me that you're going to go into this pitch meeting, you're going to say to them, wait till we get to episode 5. Then that sounds like episode 5 to the pilot. Like you got to get me in here. And because it's 2020, I could be doing this while I'm watching. I could be doing all kinds of things. I can have on, what are these things? People put the... there's all kind of technology and I could be looking in a whole nother dimension right now instead of, watching your television show or your feature. So, if it's going to take 5 episodes before I get there, and I'm not saying it doesn't happen because I will watch things and go, it didn't catch me until episode 3, right? But when you're in the room and you're trying to sell it, that pilot is what's going to sell it. Not you saying to them, because if you've just pitched your pilot and the people are just kind of like, you're like, wait. I didn't get to tell them about episode 5. That's why they didn't buy it. No. They didn't buy it because the pilot wasn't interesting or they weren't invested in what was going on. So it's the same thing is true once they have the script in their hands, because you can also come in and pitch one thing and then you get the script, you're bored to tears. Or you're like, this is not what you pitched. You said it was one thing and now I'm looking at the page and it's really this other thing. Sometimes that might be a good thing. Sometimes it may be a bad thing. But simply just because executives are doing a million things. Some of them are not just development executives, but they're also current programming executives, which means they're running shows that are on set right now, that are in production right now, that are in writers' rooms right now, and they're taking pitch meetings and reading scripts, etc. So they're reading scripts from the shows that are already being done. They're reading scripts from people who are coming to pitch. They don't have time to read all 200 pages of your screenplay. And if they do, they're going to scan it. So they're still not going to even catch on to all of the nuances and all of the everything unless they are that invested because you're grabbing them that way. So that's why those first few pages have to catch them. And it doesn't mean I put an explosion so it caught them, because it's like explosion for what? You know what I mean? So it still has to make sense to your story.
When you were teaching, you said at Florida State, and you had the students watch movies and then write this. Was it almost like they were writing coverage on it, sort of?
No. So we would be specifically talking about
I think that's all the good stuff. So what I really like is that she talks about movie moments and how we all kind of get attached to these ideas of what's exciting. And what we're used to seeing and we want to write the moments that we love to watch, we want to write that big explosion or we want to write that cool battle scene or that really sad moment in the rain kind of thing. But, if it's already been done before, you're only just writing the same thing twice, and you want to be as original as possible, I think. Obviously, nothing is wholly original, as we have talked about before. Every story kind of has similar, structure, but, we shouldn't just be remaking our favorite movies. We should be making our own movies, and that means kind of in the same vein of, with art, you're patchworking the things that you love of other people's art into your own style. You should be patchworking, you know, the things that you love about other stories and other films into what you write, you know. But you don't want to be writing just, oh, I really love Avatar, so I'm going to write Avatar again, you know? Like, I mean, that's what, you know, executives are doing, you know, we have so many remakes right now and reboots, and I mean, at this point, you could just write Avatar over again, and you could probably sell it, but, I hopefully believe that one day we'll have more original content and more, you know, like, there's a difference between, well, yeah, there's now the Avatar Studios, yeah, but, you know, as long as they're making, you know, new stories, and I'm not just watching, like, another Aang go off, or, like, another Korra, as much as I love them, like, we don't need the same stories over and over again, like, you know, at some point we gotta, like, we gotta purge ourselves of original content, you know, like, we need to just, like, let it out, and it's not being let out, and I think it's kind of frustrating, but, you know, don't think in terms of just, like, movie moments. What do movies have in it? A big explosion, a sad moment, you know, a love scene, those things, like, you don't have to have those, especially in your first page. You don't want to have to, like, you want to grab your audience, but you don't want to grab it in a way that seems so obvious, you know, like, think of, like, Baby Driver, where that was, like, amazing, but if another film did it, you'd be like, oh, this is just, like, Baby Driver again, like, we get it, cool, or, like, trying to think of another good opening scene, like, oh god, I haven't watched movies in a while. I think, like, the last movie I watched, I don't know, think of, like, I don't know, Truman, they have a good opening. I don't know, I've been thinking about the Truman Show a lot. Like, I've been watching video essays on it for no reason, except that I'm, like, obsessed. But yeah, like, just think of, like, if, the thing is, like, I feel like right now we're all, like, so much original content came out in, like, the 80s, the 70s, the 90s, and now, like, and now we're here where everyone's like, that was so good, that was so original, let's just redo that again. And I'm like, yeah, like, nostalgia's fine, like, there's some things that are cool to remake, you know, like, Into the Spider-Verse obviously was a good movie, like, and that's just Spider-Man over again, you know, like, so it's not like, I don't know, it's not an issue, but, you know, it could be better. Do you like my, do you like my history, you know? Anyway, I was gonna look up, like, a lo-fi thing, because now we're gonna write. So hopefully you brought something to write, or to just work on, even if you're just drawing, or whatever. But I wanted, you know, I'm doing this thing where I'm forcing myself to write, and I'll just write, you know, alongside you. I think it's less intimidating to write alongside someone, especially when you're looking at someone that's, writing. Like, I'll pull up my script. I gotta pull it up. Hopefully the music's not too loud. I have to find Screenwriter. And we're gonna, I should be recent. And I'm going back to my Gravity Falls script because I still haven't finished it. I did write a little bit last week for it. So far, I got, so Gideon has, where is it? So if people don't know the plot, Gideon bought a magical amulet and then Waddle stole it. And then the twins share 3 wishes because they're twins, and then but then they argue. I haven't actually put in that they argue over the 3rd one, so I have to add that in. But then Gideon steals it back, and now he is in charge of, or like he's the ruler of Gravity Falls. And right now, all I have is that he has it now. He's now the ruler of Gravity Falls. And now the Mystery Shack is themed after Little Gideon. And now I'm trying to figure out how to get to Gideon. I need to get back. I need to get the twins back to Little Gideon. I don't know really how to do that. So that's where I'm at. That's why I stopped and I went, I don't know. As you see, this is what not to do with writing. This is what everyone says not to do, is to just do it. You know, do it ahead of time, plan ahead of time. Instead of me, who goes straight in. Like, I have an idea of what I want. It's just that getting to point A to point B, I'm like, I'll go. I'll see what happens. So hopefully you have something to work with, or you can start on something new. You can do your homework. I don't know. Okay. So angels grant you that is softened before your wishes for some. Something even worse. Okay, and I guess I'll do a scene change. So, do here. Like Gravity Falls. Do they have like? I should probably look at scripts of Gravity Falls because I don't know what they call their locations. Let's see. But the thing is with like they only have transcripts. That's a lot of like you get a lot of transcripts, and I'm like, I don't want transcripts, I want the actual script. And I'm like, yeah, like, technically not, like, bad, but, like, I want the actual script, because it's different, like, how they wrote the words are, gonna be different, and, like, how they describe things, it's gonna be different than how we see it on, screen. Laptop, God. No, this can't be. Oh my god. No, wait, is this like the whole script? Wait. Wait, so this is just like all the words just in the Oh my god, that's so funny. What? I just want to know how do they do locations. Like, how would I call Gravity Falls? Do I call Gravity Falls Street? Like, if I'm in the street, am I in town? I guess I could say in town. Like, transcripts are, I guess I could look at it. Which one is like... Summerween? Oh my god, is this in Russian? No. Yeah. Oh my god, it's in Russian. Oh god. I don't know Russian. How did it... Dang. This is just gonna be like a transcript too. But it's like... Yeah, this is just like... See, this isn't what I want. This isn't a... I mean, it's a script, but it's not a script. Alright, then I guess I'll just fudge it. I did see someone else was doing a spec script. Or like I saw... Maybe I could see what they did. But they're not really in the format that I like. Okay, I guess I'll just, you know, how do you calls, like, I'll put in town continuous. Wait, let me put the twins run out. And run out of the shop, leaving Seuss alone. Oh, wait. Am I spelling anything right? Now I'm like paranoid. Is it Seuss or is it Seuss? Is it have I been spelling like Dr. Seuss this whole time? You know, you go through a whole script and you spell it wrong sometimes, and no one tells you. As you see, these are the things, you know, that happens all the time. Hopefully, you seeing me make mistakes will make you more confident. Okay, so the twins run out of the shop, leaving Seuss alone to deal with this. Dipper, leave the town, everything has changed. And this keeps happening too. I did tell you everything has changed. Runs down the street. Didn't think anything could change. There are banners. Building with space on it. And kind of want to say something like dumb, but I don't know. How do you bolo tie? Is that how you say it? You know, the little. Does he even wear one? I haven't even. Bolo tie. One. Let me look up. Does he wear one? No, he wears just a regular tie. I just think he would look better with a bolo tie. Little suits. With the necklace and pomp, the door, pomp. Oh god, I'm not in the spelling mood today. Oh, he did have a magic bolo. Depends on. Yeah. That was like the first time. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Let's see. Maybe the castle or the sign points to it. I have the hiccups. Oh god. No beans. Should I call it layer? Headquarters. We'll get in castle. No, I don't. Business. Put layer for now. You know, good alliteration a little bit. I don't know if I like that line. I feel like it could be funnier. looks at it and scoffs, rolling her eyes. They took most of the... Oh, I was gonna put horizon, but now that doesn't make any sense to me. That sticks out. Looks. Oh, please. Mabel looks up at the top, also the compound that looks obvious to be all of place. Can't even spell working. Usually I'm a better speller, but today I suck at spelling. The two, grace, towards. I know, the music is like, what is it? If I could, I would play Daft Punk, but, you know, copyright. You know, good old copyright. Yeah, I was such a, I missed Daft Punk already, because I was such a fan of them. Oh my god, like I was 14 and I got really into them, and I was like, that's all I used to listen to. Like I was obsessed, like I knew everything about them. And then, you know, they kind of stopped making music, so then I like got out of them. Okay, you know, a door in a hallway, that's kind of more than what I've done. I've written the smallest scene in history. I feel like more could happen. I could have won. I feel like all character. I need, like, you'd think I'd watch Gravity Falls before writing a Gravity Falls script. But I did not. I have not watched it in a few years, but I really remember most of it. I think, like, I have, like, so much of it, and then, like, I think about it and I go, wait, what was that character's name? What did that look like? Instant Crush is a good song. I don't know why, but I did not like it when I first heard it. I remember I was just really into Discovery and Human After All. And those are like my favorites. So I really liked that kind of sound. And I don't know why I didn't like Instant Crush. Like I remember I was like, I'm just not vibing with it. It sounded like something like Us or whatever. But now I'm like, I listened to all of their last album, REM. Or RAM. No, it's RAM. It's just so good. Like that whole album is just like, it's kind of mind blowing how good they are at music. Like I don't even like my favorite. What is it? It's like Mortar by Giorgio. Crazy. Like I don't understand that song. Like how did I listen to it and I just go crazy? It's just like, how do you jam pack that much music and make it seem, I don't know, it's just crazy. I just love, like, Daft Punk was really just one of those like perfect musical groups that were just so passionate about music, and so perfect about, like, I don't know, like they were just really into art and just like they made like 2 short films out of their music, and like that's like, and sure, like artists do that now, but like they made like a whole anime, like what? And then they made like a whole short film with Human After All, I think. Yeah, I think so. Was it? Yeah, I don't know. It was the one where I didn't watch it all because the human masks that they had on kind of creeped me out when I was 14. But I have to rewatch it. But those were like, I don't know, like I just love artists and like musicians that really like you can tell throughout their songs that they're really passionate about what they're doing and what they love. Like they love what they're doing. And I think it's like kind of rare to see that kind of flourish. And like I don't know, they just shape, I don't know, here I am going off from Daft Punk, but like they just shape music to how it is today. Like now you see a bunch of EDM people have amazing stages, and they have amazing, like, you know, they have the masks, they have like when you go to their concerts, they're very atmospheric, they have the setting, they have like, it's more than just a DJ on like standing there, you know. Like we wouldn't have Deadmau5, we wouldn't have Marshmello, we wouldn't have Skrillex, we wouldn't have like the EDM that we have today without Daft Punk, I think. I mean, the only reason I think they would have broken up, they're like in their 40s and like 50s. They're like kind of old. they're old men. And so that's the only reason I think they would be like, we're kind of done. This isn't what we want to do, I guess, anymore. But if they don't, I'm just saying, if they didn't want to put on the masks again, they could just find like younger people to put on the masks, and then they could just make music. That's what I'm all like. You don't gotta put on the mask. I just want more music. And I did the maths like a few months ago. Okay, now I'm sounding crazy. But like, I did the maths about the range of the points in when most of their albums came out. They had like, they were all like within 5 or 7 years. And so technically their last album would have came out last year or the beginning of this year or something. But instead we got something else. But you know, it was good while it lasted. And you know, now I'm just procrastinating. Like, I need to get this finished, because I want to be able to have, like, a spec script to send into places, and just to have on my portfolio. I need to have more, but that would require me to actually know something. Like, I need more live action scripts. And I'm like, people, what do people like to a sitcom? Like, you mean I can't have a frog as a character? Yeah, I was hoping for a goodbye album, but you know, nope. I hope that they do score music still, like for like movies, because they did Tron, and they were rumored to do another one. But you know, it's whatever, I guess. Race towards the layer. I'll add more to this later. This scene. I'm just gonna do the scenes that I know that I want to do right now, and then I'll add in the stuff that I need to do, like, you know, like the stuff that'll bridge it later. I'll put. This is what I do also in prose, is that I will fill in, because, like, you know, I don't feel like doing everything right now. Okay. And sometimes you just don't know what you're gonna do in a scene. So now they'll get into the layer. Somehow you figure that out later. And here I want to have something with like people in town. Didn't mind the change. Interior. Let's see how tired I am. But how bad I'm spelling. I'll probably be on for just a few more like minutes, maybe like 10, 20, something like that. Okay, so they're in the layer. Then blast into slam open the doors to Gideon's layer. It is empty. How long is this? I don't even know. The thing is with Scavenger, it doesn't really tell you how long your scripts are. You have to like go into not writing history. And no, I'm still wrong. Statistics. That's what I was trying to do. 18 pages. They're usually like what, 20? Like a 20 page, no, like, I'd say like a 25 kind of episode length. Were they 15? I mean, they weren't 15. How long was a Gravity Falls episode? Yeah, so I'll do about like 25 pages, I guess. They would have marketed it as a 30-minute show. Duh. So I have a few more pages to go. I don't know, like I kind of wanted it to be a fake out, and then maybe we'll be right. but then I need Mabel to be kidnapped because he's gonna do a second wish and then wish for her to be his like wife or princess queen, and then the third wish would be the bad one, and then would be the one where he'd want to rule the world. But somehow they're gonna take it from him. I really thought of that. He sits at a very large desk and a very large chair. Alright, I might end it in like 3 minutes, but I'll try to write as much as I can in 3 minutes. So the twins slam open the doors to Gideon's lair. Little Gideon sits at a very large desk in a very large chair. He has amulet on. He is wearing an amulet around his neck. Countdown to Crowdful. I think it looks great, don't you? I bet the whole world would look just as great. Not what I really wanted to write, but you know. Alright, I think I'm gonna end the stream here. So thank you all for coming. And you know, I always appreciate you guys coming and, you know, talking to me and watching me write and also writing alongside me and listening to me ramble. I really appreciate it. The next class should be what? The 17th? What day is that? Is that a holiday? It'll be St. Patrick's Day. Oh my god. So, alrighty. If you guys have any scripts within the next 2 weeks that you want to go over, even if it's like a script that, you know, is just like a TV show, or something, or like a movie. It doesn't have to be your own. You know, you can send it my way either on Twitter, somewhere, I don't know, Instagram, here, I don't know. But yeah, I'll see you next class. Thank you. Good night. Thank you for coming again.